Welcome back to the Tempo Storm Wild Hearthstone Meta Snapshot, our first since the format-shaking nerf to Twig of the World Tree. How have things changed in the wake of this adjustment? Hang with us as the stage lights go up in earnest on the Festival of Legends. Last time, this snapshot reintroduced you to Ramp Druid. With Instrument's tech breaking Wild Hearthstone wide open, it was inevitable that Twig of the World Tree would face the music. That was the only possible outcome when a new flashy standard card breaks Wild. The result is often a nerf to a long-standing Wild format mainstay. Taking Ramp Druid's place at the head of the format are two old friends and one top-tier newcomer. Even Shaman and Shutterwalk Shaman return to Tier 1 due to their ongoing strength, and are joined by Questline Druid, which has survived the Twig nerf to emerge at the head of the format. We don't need to say too much about the two Shaman archetypes. By now, they should be well known to Wild format players, both in their strengths and weaknesses. Questline Druid, however, deserves a few words. The deck is absolutely everywhere right now, and for good reason. It's quick and powerful. Yes, it can lose to copious armor and healing, but it can also simply outrace both of those defenses fairly readily. Don't sleep on this archetype because it'll run you right out of games before you can even begin to think about mounting a defense. Looking to Tier 2, it's once again home to several of our format's best aggro options. This includes Kingsbane Rogue, which has seen a significant rise in both power and play in Festival of Legends. Yes, the deck can auto-lose to Kobold Sticky Finger, but it can also put out an absolutely incredible amount of damage before the weapon-stealing pirate can be played. Expect to see a lot of players trying out this archetype, as it has benefited tremendously from this expansion. Joining Kingsbane in Tier 2 are Aggro Shadow Priest, Pirate Rogue, and Beast Hunter. Each is in good shape right now, so expect to see all of them in fair numbers. Moving down the snapshot, Tiers 3 and 4 feature the usual host of perfectly playable but also not great meta choices. We'd like to highlight a few specific options you might see in higher numbers. The first is Quest Mage. We were perhaps too bullish on this archetype in our previous snapshot, but who can blame us? Based on recent history with this archetype, it felt like a good bet to be a future meta breaker. Unfortunately, it's only so-so. The next is Questline Warlock. With the Demon Seed returning to Wild, albeit heavily nerfed from its original form, people were bound to experiment. Unfortunately, the archetype is mediocre at best, not particularly useful in its questline form, and probably better as a defensive anti-aggro combo disruptor with Tony, King of Piracy. Try it out, but be warned that it probably isn't the answer. As for Paladin, Demon Hunter, and Warrior, they're mired in the snapshot's basement, struggling to find a foothold. While it's possible any might find their way out, it'll take some new Festival of Legends magic to make it happen. With much of our early meta contenders being format mainstays, but a few new archetypes emerging, the early Wild format Festival of Legends is off to an interesting start.